Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Aquatico Horizon Hawk Pilot's Watch in bronze with the Aventurine dial. I received this watch for free. I don't have to send the watch back, but you guys know the deal by now. It's not going to sway my review one way or another. And if by the end of this review you want to pick one of these up, as always, I will be leaving a link down in the video description. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that. It just takes you right to this watch, and you can pick it up. And I think you might want to act pretty quick, because last time I checked, I believe there was only I think 7 of these in stock, 7 of them left, and they are a limited edition, as you can see. So yeah, you might want to act quick. The retail price for this watch is $359 US. That's before any taxes or VAT or coupons or anything like that. So I don't really think Aquatico does many sales, so it is what it is, $359, and I still think that's a pretty good deal for what you're getting. So the Aquatico Pilot's Watch, it comes in all sorts of colors and dial layouts, and even comes on a bracelet on some of them. So it's worth checking out the whole lineup if if this one doesn't do anything for you. But this bronze case, it does come with the Aventurine dial. It comes with a full Lume dial, and then it comes with a couple Fume dials. I believe one is green and one is blue. The watch case is made of CUSNA bronze. It has a sapphire crystal with AR coating, a screw-down crown, a screw-down caseback, 300 meters of claimed water resistance, Swiss BGW9 Lume on the dial and the hands, and the watch is powered by the Seiko automatic NH35 movement. So this one was a surprise to me. It's a combination that I never knew I needed in my life. A big pilot in bronze with a beautiful starry night dial. It's absolutely gorgeous, but is it any good? I say let's get into this full review, but before we do a quick wrist check today, wearing the Roland Seamaster 300 in brown. Alright, so let's get into the dimensions. 43.3 millimeters in diameter, 13.1 millimeters thick, 22 millimeter lug width, 50.2 millimeters lug tip to lug tip, and on the supplied leather strap, weighs about 96 grams. So this watch is called a Big Pilot for a reason. It's a big watch, 43.5, 50 millimeters lug tip to lug tip. The thickness is perfectly fine, I think 13.2, and that's with a top hat style crystal. So it does appear very thin on wrist, and as you can see there is some nice turn down to the lugs as well. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the way this thing wears. And that crown, let me get a measurement for you. 10 millimeters, so nice big crown. Yeah, this thing, it wears really good. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. Here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist, and as you can see, I definitely have the wrists to pull this off. And you're going to need some bigger wrists unless you really like big watches. Yeah, this one actually wears pretty good for the size though. It's got nice turn down to the lugs there, as you can see, hugging the wrist nicely, nice thin profile as well. The crown does kind of dig into the wrist, but that's pretty typical with a crown like this. But overall, I think it's a very comfortable watch. I think it looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. Plenty of AR coating as well. And yeah, I mean, it just looks really good. And you can see the dial kind of sparkling here. We'll get it out in some sunlight though in just a second. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this thing wears, and even the strap is very nice and comfortable. We'll talk about that too in a little detail. Yeah, looks good. What do you guys think? And popping out into some direct sunlight, also throwing it on the included nylon strap, which is decent. We'll talk about it later. But there you can see that just stunning dial. Absolutely gorgeous. Just look at that thing. I could just sit here and stare at it for a very, very long time. All right, let's go throw it on one more strap and we can get back to this review. And here we are on a black rubber strap, and this is how I've been wearing it mostly, just because I don't really have any black 22 millimeter straps. I wish it was leather, but yeah, I don't have that one sitting around, so this is what I have to deal with, and I do think that looks pretty darn good though. And sadly, that is where the strap show ends today. Let's go back inside and let's get back to this review. All right, so let's talk about the case finishing. So the case is, again, CUSNA bronze, so it will patina. This thing was wrapped up pretty tight, and this is, I believe, 2-3 days after I got it, so it's already starting to patina a little bit, but really not that bad at all. But you can see here it is a fully brushed case. You have a brushed bezel there, which is done very nice. No polished surfaces in the bronze that I can see. You have a circular brushing on the tops of the lugs, and then you have a horizontal brushing on the case sides. And again, everything is done very nice. This is not my first Aquatico watch. And yeah, I mean, they just do a good job with the case finishing. I've got no issues with the case finishing. It's done very nice, very crisp lines. You can see there, this is number 17 out of 99. So there's only 99 of these watches out there, which is kind of cool. Again, you have your big crown here, 10 millimeters, and a very cool cupcake shape to it. Plenty of grip on it. And you also have your Aquatico logo there. I believe that's like a dolphin or something like that. So I think it looks really, really good. And overall, I'm very satisfied with the case finishing on this thing. Flipping it to the case back, stainless steel case back. You don't want bronze sitting on your wrist, so that's why they go with the stainless steel. Simple notches to get a tool in there. We'll test that for sapphire here. I'll let you know if it is or not. But yeah, overall, pretty satisfied with it. You got your spec sheet around the outside here. And overall, I think it looks pretty nice, and you can see a custom rotor on the movement there too. So yeah, I see no issues with the case finishing on this thing. It's actually really nicely done. All right, so let's get to the crystal. Test it for sapphire first. It is positive for sapphire. So I had no doubts that the front was sapphire. The back did also test for sapphire, so that's nice to see. But it is just a beautiful crystal. Plenty of inner reflective coating. It does have just a slight blue tint to it. It's really not annoying at all. And I think it looks great. It keeps the dial nice and legible. You can see here it is a nice box style sapphire crystal. So really flat on the top there, but really nice and curved on the edges there. I mean, it looks gorgeous. You do get a little tiny bit of distortion there, but really not a whole lot. I think it looks fantastic. They did a really good job. Nice big piece of sapphire crystal on this thing. It's a good one. All right, so let's talk about the dial on this thing, and that is really the star of the show on this thing. I mean, it is just a vast dial. It is Aventurine. I believe it's like I don't know if it's a dark blue or if it's black or what, but you got plenty of little sparkle in there. You can see, I mean, it is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, beautiful. Looks like you're staring into the night sky. Again, this is my second Aventurine dial, I believe, and this makes me want to get another one. They are just stunning, just absolutely stunning. But as far as the dial itself goes, it's a glossy black dial. It's stone, so it's going to have some variation to it, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. Fully printed minute track around the outside, fully printed numerals and markings. Everything is done in crisp white. It is a BGW9 Lume. We'll get to the Lume here in just a moment. You got your Aquatico branding there at the 12 o'clock, automatic in red at the 6 o'clock. Nice, simple, clean dial layout. The one thing I don't really like about this too much, this is a B style dial. So they have the hour track here in the middle, and you can see there the hour hand actually covers up the numbers. So that's really my only gripe with it. I wish they would just get rid of that ring there and just use this as a type A pilot's watch. As it is, it does, obscure the numbers from time to time. On a Type B, that hour hand is supposed to stop short of that ring there, so just something for them to consider for the future. I don't think it looks horrible, but functionality-wise, it's a little bit off in my opinion. The handset that they use on this, very nice pilot-style hands, fully brushed, which I do really like. Goes with the case. I think it looks fantastic. I mean, they're a good size, reaching right out to the minute track there. Like I said, that hour hand, it's a little bit long in my opinion. And then the second hand reaches right out to the seconds track there, and it is tipped in red, and that is also loomed. And then on top of that, you do have a date window there at the 3 o'clock. I kind of wish they would have color matched that black. It is what it is. It doesn't look too out of place in my opinion, but I think a black one would have looked a little bit better. The Lume on this thing, like I mentioned, the Lume is Swiss BGW9. It is excellent. So I'm going to pop up a Lume shot here. You can see it against a couple other watches in the collection. We've got a Damasco on the left, which is a pilot's watch. And then we've got a GMT on the right, which is also a pilot's watch. Both of those are considerably more expensive than this watch, and this watch absolutely dominates it. A printed dial usually isn't that great when it comes to the Lume, but they just applied a ton of it. Yeah, they did a really good job with the Lume. Nice, healthy application, even coating. It looks absolutely fantastic. The Lume on this thing is just killer. All right, so let's talk about the movement in this thing. So the movement, it's the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. So it is 21,600 beats per hour, roughly 40 hours of power reserve. It hacks, hand winds. It's got a quick set date. It's a bidirectional winding rotor, so the rotor isn't whirling around or anything like that. It's nice and quiet. These movements are excellent. And there you get a nice look through that sapphire window there at the movement. custom rotor on it, which is nice to see. I've got zero issues with these movements, especially when they run like this. You can see there, accuracy is just spot on, so that tells me that they are regulating this thing. If you look at the number on the bead air, I believe that's showing a little bit high. I had a little bit of interference in there, and yeah, I mean, I believe it's running pretty strong. So yeah, really happy with the accuracy on this thing. Really happy with the movement in general. It's not really a premium movement, but it does everything you need it to do. They're cheap, they're reliable, they're easy to work on, easy to replace. They're just great movements. This one is operated by this 10mm screw down crown. It is also signed. Plenty of grip on that thing. It's a great crown. Really nice and smooth. Nice satisfying pop out as well. First position is your hand winding. Feels great. Again, no issues with that. Second position, we'll pop it out and get the hands out of the way, but popping it to the third position does hack the movement. Like I said, this is where you set your time. Everything functions as it should. It's nice and smooth. Getting into the quick set date, you can see there the date window is nicely centered as well. So really no issues with this at all. You will notice if in the fully popped out position, the crown does have a little bit of wobble to it. That's just because it's so far from the movement. That's typical with a watch this size. So nothing to really worry about. Pushing it in and starting to thread the crown here, nice and buttery smooth. It's not one of those crowns that you are also winding the movement while you're screwing it in, so it's nice and smooth. It's a really nice and premium feeling crown in my opinion. Overall, between the crown, the threading, the movement accuracy, it's a great setup. I got no complaints with it. All right, so let's talk about the strap, or the straps, I guess. So the strap that it came on, this is the one that it came on here. Really nice dark brown leather. It's kind of got tan stitching here. It goes with the case really nicely. Really nice clean stitching as well. It's a 22mm strap, and it has zero taper to it. So just something to keep in mind. It does feel big and chunky on the wrist, but so does the watch. So it kind of goes hand in hand with it. But I think the watch strap looks fantastic. It's nice and flexible right out of the box, super comfortable. This feels great, and it smells great. You have one floating keeper, one stationary keeper, everything sewn in nicely. A big bronze buckle here. You can see it is already starting to show patina. This actually wasn't wrapped up, which kind of surprised me. The watch head was wrapped. This was not wrapped. But you got this big fat tang buckle here. Again, signed with the Aquatico branding. Everything is excellent. You got no complaints about it, except no quick release. I would like to see quick release on a watch in this price range, but that's really the only negative thing I have to say about the strap. It's actually really good. And then included in the watch box, you get this nylon strap. Dark blue, polished gold hardware. I doubt that's actually bronze. It's probably just PVD coated. I really don't know for sure though, but that's just my gut feeling. The strap itself, nice and flexible and soft right out of the box. It's a pretty good nylon strap. However, everything is heated in there. It's not, let me see here. Here's a strap here. You can see the difference. So all these little marks here, they're just kind of like burned and melted in, and that kind of keeps the strap together. Those can break fairly easily. That's really my only complaint. The sewn in stitching like this here, that's kind of the standard now. So yeah, a little bit disappointed that they went with the melted fabric instead of actually, taking the time to sew it in there. That would have been a whole lot better in my opinion. That's really my only complaint with it. It's a pretty big complaint, especially at this price point. You want to see something that is sewn in, something that's going to last. So if I was going to wear it on a strap like this, and I do think it looks really good on this strap, I would go out, buy a different one with the same color hardware. That's just me. Yeah, a little bit disappointing with that. But besides that, the two straps that they get you, they're actually pretty nice, and they do look really good on the watch. So there you go, guys. If you are in the market for a big pilot watch, Aquatico, they have a very good one. I'm just kind of blown away by the dial on this thing, blown away by the overall build of this watch. It's very nice, really nice. The price is right in my opinion as well, and you get an extra strap, and you also get a pretty cool box. Usually I don't show boxes off, but you get this nice wooden box. It's a very lightweight box. Got some metal hardware here. You open it up, you have the watch, you have the extra strap, you have your warranty card, all that stuff. Yeah, really happy with that. Free shipping from the website, and I believe it's also a maybe a 2-year warranty on, I can't remember. So yeah, it's a really nice overall package if you're in the market for a big pilot. Even if you don't like the bronze, even if you don't like the Aventurine dial, go check out their site and check out their other offerings. I mean, not just their pilots, but they got great dive watches as well. Yeah, they're really, really a cool brand. I do like them a lot. So I think that's it for me, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.